I'd even run to hell and back.
Do you think he's going to hell and back?
No, there's a good.
There's. I've been listening to Rest in Peace Meatloaf. Been listening to
pieces of meatloaf.
Been listening to a lot of Meatloaf the past couple days, and pretty much all of his songs are like, well, this is like so like fit. All the lyrics are like, well, of course you have to play this after they die.
Do you think that, like, we just had that volcano eruption earlier this week? Do you think there might be another one, and then Meatloaf just as a bat emerges from the volcano, truly a bat out of hell?
Yeah, he flies out of the volcano on the motorcycle like the cover of Bat Out of Hell. It starts flying through the air.
Somebody should check on Jack Black. I know he was close.
Yeah, I mean, Kickapoo, man. Meatloaf, the religious dad. One of the greatest roles ever.
That's actually the first thing I thought about when I heard that he had passed.
Yeah.
I kind of thought about, I was like, his name was Robert Paulson.
Mm-hmm. Bob.
Do you know that Meatloaf put on 40 pounds to play that role?
Did he really?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure
they were
he
like,
wore
you were the perfect fat. Let's just put on fake tits.
Yeah, they put on some sort of fake boob thing.
I wish I could text the dog and tell her to shut up.
So they had two. They had Meatloaf, and then who was the other musician that they had in that set?
In Kickapoo?
No, I'm sorry, from Fight Club. Wasn't there one other?
Fight Club?
Wasn't there one other?
I don't know. I mean, Jared Leto. I guess you wouldn't really consider. You consider him an actor first.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was thinking of Jared Leto. I thought there was someone. Jared Leto's the guy with the blonde hair in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Angel Face.
That's who I was thinking of.
But yeah, I don't know who the other music, but
for some reason I thought they had like someone from like My Chemical Romance or something in that movie. Not that band, but something like it.
Something like that. Yeah, that would make sense. Let's look it up.
Good Charlotte stopped making music, and they
was it the guy from Smash Mouth?
Could have been.
Did you guys see that
It'd
they're
be fitting for the title?
They're doing one of those like when you were. Did you see the When You Were Young poster thing?
Yeah.
The guys from what is it? Who killed all those people at that Houston concert?
Yeah.
Are putting on a new one where it's just going to be Warped Tour, and everybody's going to be oversold again, and it's going to be like.
I did see like it was like Firefest 2.0.
That's what it was. Firefest was the.
That was the one that was supposed to be on Randall's Island, I think, or somewhere in New York City. It was supposed to be on Fire Island, right?
In Fire Island. It was an island they bought in the Caribbean.
Oh, really?
Oh, wait. I thought it was the Travis Scott people, not the Fire. That's completely. Those. I thought that guy was in jail.
I think no. They were just comparing the new When You Were Young thing to Firefest. It might actually be the same people that did the Travis Scott thing. I'm not sure.
Firefest was Ja Rule also.
Well, what up, people? My baby.
DJ's not letting Ja Rule get out of this one.
Well, yeah, definitely not. You're on blast.
He had a good message, ever loving, ever faithful.
Mm-hmm.
Ja Rule the far end.
Well, I don't know about leading people to an island to serve them cheese sandwiches and then or onion sandwiches.
Well, I think the beauty of it is that it was all extremely wealthy, privileged fucking brats.
That is what
they were spending like $20,000 for tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So on that I love it because it's all those kids that would get like the scalper tickets to the shows that I wanted to go to and be like in the front row and shit. So those kids going to an island, a third world island,
and tripping nuts, and having a terrible time is fun. Fun for us. Fun for the little people.
I don't know. I do think it would be funny though, like they should do like a show where it just like punks a bunch of people like that. It'd be illegal, highly illegal.
Yeah.
But like imagine you just have cameras rolling the whole time for all that, and then you set up like Survivor shit.
Yeah. We took 14 people and dropped them in the middle of the Amazon jungle.
It very quickly.
You guys got punked.
Very quickly turns into Lord of the Flies.
All right, Dennis has a murder card. Who would you like to murder, Dennis?
Playing the game of life.
Have you ever watched Survivor?
A long time ago.
I watched the first one with Richard Hatch. You guys know Richard Hatch?
No.
He was the
Dick
first
Hatch.
winner of Surpriser.
With a name like Dick Hatch.
Dude, we should start a show called Surpriser.
That'll be the fake prank show where you drop
Surpriser.
people off in the Amazon desert,
Surprise, you're stranded
Amazon,
here.
not
Fuck off.
the
And then-
rainforest.
No, but I
You
I
fly
watched-
off in your helicopter.
It'd be very easy. Yeah, it's like you just was a Uber driver and just put people to the wrong places.
So
It's like, all right, up here.
So Eric, Helen, and Josh Edwards are trying to basically they were trying to get me into Survivor, right? And I was like, on Xbox, Josh, yeah, we can watch Survivor right now on Paramount Plus. And I was just like, all right. And I throw it on, and it's like I think it's like season 8 or something like that. But basically, it's like a boys versus girls Survivor. And there's this one girl who like I mean I get why they were like trying to be inclusive, but they have like a deaf girl,
Mhm.
right? And then immediately, since this was like early 2000, this is like right after 9/11, like they referenced 9/11 mad times in there. And this poor girl is just on a team, and she's not getting picked for. Daddy, get the fuck down off the table! You're embarrassing me. All right, so they have this poor deaf girl who's just not getting picked for any challenges because she can't hear, and it's like a huge, like there's a time barrier there. You know what I mean? And so like this poor girl just. DJ, you gotta stand ground. The dog is crawling and wants some love from DJ.
Yes.
She wants you to set up her mic, dude.
Yes, she does.
But anyway, it's like the most toxic thing ever because all they do is they talk shit about this girl behind her back. Well, I guess in front of her face. But like they're just like talking to her and she's just like, I can't. You guys gotta slow down. I can't hear you. And then they're just like, this bitch. Like they're just getting so frustrated.
Jeez.
I shit you not. Oh my god, this is the worst thing. This is the worst thing ever. Here, come over here, you little rat. But yeah, game shows have changed a lot lately. I guess is the main bullet point of that.
Yeah, reality TV, you know.
Dude, another thing too is all the like. There was one guy who was like going on a tirade about how he's just like marriage is between a man and a woman. Like he's just like freaking out. It's just like, dude, who asked this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a whole little chapter of itself. And then there's another chapter where like the dudes haven't talked to these women at all, right? Like they haven't met them. They were just on a boat to the same place, and then they got divided. And then like all the guys are like, Heidi's got massive boobs, and I want to see them mad bad. And they're all like doing that shit, and they're all like, if I had my choice, I would bang Danielle because she also big boobs. And it's like the worst thing ever, dude. I don't know. It's just it would not fly today. It's so weird going back. It's like going back and watching. Like if you go back and watch not Wheel of Fortune. What's the game where that guy was honking titties every single time?
Family Feud.
Family Feud.
Or just kissing all of the women on the lips.
Dude.
Just blatantly assaulting people.
Isn't it crazy how like you couldn't show beds like two women, a man and a woman in a bed on TV until like Twilight Zone did it in that like one episode or some shit, but they could have like dudes like tongue fucking.
Yeah, Richard Dawson,
dude,
making out with women, married women.
Yeah.
In families.
Dude, also when like Betty White died, I watched like all the passwords where like her and her husband were just on password, just like flirting back and forth, and it was like the will they won't they from the Office shit, and it just worked, you know. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
got kind of high there.
That'll happen. But yeah, what's your favorite reality television show that's ever existed?
Like actual reality or like the fake shit?
The fake shit too.
Okay.
As long as it's classified as reality television.
I mean, like
Jackass. Sorry.
Yeah,
I mean that's a good
choice.
choice.
I was gonna say like I mean honestly like Impractical Jokers or like Trigger Happy TV. Like I kind of like those, you know, where they're just like fucking with people in real life.
Yeah, that's a good one. You guys don't keep up with the Kardashians?
That's not reality, DJ. That is not reality. That is narrative.
Was that your pick?
Nah, probably not. I just
It's
know
okay.
that might be one of the most popular ones.
Anything on what is it? Fucking TLC.
TLC, yeah.
Yeah. Like I haven't even watched it, but just that thumb guy from 90 Day Fiance.
No
He's in
neck
all
ad.
the no neck ad, dude. I did not know that we had the same name for the longest time, and I was like, oh no, it's the necklace guy, dude. Actually, that's really funny because if you say necklace, it kind of sounds like he just has a nice necklace.
Necklace head, yeah.
Wow. Anyway,
And ironically, he can't wear one because he doesn't have a neck.
no, he can wear because just his head's still there. It'll keep it on.
Yeah, that's true.
So I never knew who that guy was until we just talked about it. Like I'd always
Yeah.
see pictures of him, but I was like, I don't know who this guy is, and I don't really care.
Yeah, 90 Day Fiance. That's where he's from.
Yeah.
Yo, somebody behind like a casting table was just like, I need somebody with the it factor. What is it? And then like this guy just walks in and it's just no neck. They're just like, yeah, let's pair him up with some chick. How are those shows legal?
Oh,
They sign contracts.
yeah, contracts, lawyers.
There's one show that is really bad that all the CSRs that used to watch it have since left, but I think it's called Under Deck or something.
Below Deck.
Below Deck.
Yeah, Amelia watches Below Deck.
God, that show is really bad.
Below Deck's that's an interesting one to watch because you just see like billionaires like renting out these yachts and then all of them being like, Todd just won't stop being an ass. Well, these billionaires are just drunk and being like, hey.
Yeah, I hate everything. I hate all the people on the show. I hate what I'm watching. Everything about it is pretty terrible.
And they're like, is that like one of the who's get the rose?
No, it's just basically it's about the like the crew of like people that own a really expensive yacht that goes on like these cruises and tours.
So it's like the exact opposite of Deadliest Catch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just like luxury. So it's just about the day-to-day life of people who like the crew of the boat and then like what people are renting the boat that day, year, month.
Dude, what a terrible... Imagine you're renting a yacht and there's just cameras on there and they're like, yeah, we're doing this.
Mhm.
What the fuck? No.
I feel like it's like a status symbol thing. Like people will be like, oh, we were on the Below Deck yacht.
Yeah. I guess it depends.
Our episode's gonna drop next week.
Yeah, this it's like if you're like Bezos level, you don't want camera crew on the yacht. But if you're like just got to yacht money, you're like, film me on this yacht, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like the cribs of yachts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's like. But yeah, I don't mind Below Deck. Below Deck's it's an interesting one to see the I don't know. You kind of do hate all of the people though. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, you
hate the players and you hate
the cat.
the crews, the captain.
There's this one girl that kept complaining about it. She'd be like, "Oh, he's not letting us go out tonight. Like, I have to go out. I want to get some drinks." And then she goes out, and then like the captain's like, "I told you not to go out." This show is so bad.
Yeah, basically, it's just like people that can't just be civil humans. Like they're just each other, and then the captain just being like, "Come on, guys, can we just operate the ship?"
Guys, please.
You violated
on.
curfew.
Dude, it sounds like every show. It sounds like Bar Rescue, that thing that Gordon Ramsay does, like all that shit, where they like always have some kind of like. Not every bar has a story. Sometimes there's just one person who sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why they like. Do you think that was like there had to be setup actors in there, right?
In Bar Rescue?
No, in the yacht thing.
Or in I don't think there's actors in that one.
Dude, I don't know. I'm like,
just because
I don't trust anything like that.
I feel like the nature of it like they are actors because it is because it is a show. So
I
they're
mean-
like aware of like
It does seem like whoever's producing the show like purposely stokes the flame, like tries to get people pissed at each other. Like I feel like it's not completely natural in that sense. So like I see what you mean by them being like kind of
I mean they're like self-aware that they're on a TV show as well.
yeah, exactly. They're like playing up like being,
Chrissy's such a bitch.
But yeah, Bar Rescue is always a fun one too.
Dude, he's such a piece of shit.
Because he will just yell at anyone and everyone. Like someone takes a few seconds too long to get a drink, like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of the
You're
cooking,
gonna take that long to serve someone a margarita?
a lot of the cooking reality shows are pretty good. I had actually never seen Beat Bobby Flay, but I started watching that, and Beat
Mhm.
Bobby Flay was like pretty fun to watch.
I like Beat Bobby Flay. That's another one though, where it's like everyone's unnecessarily like mean to Bobby Flay, and you're like, why does everyone hate Bobby Flay?
He's a piece of shit.
They'll always walk around and be like, I'm gonna go taste whatever this person's cooking, and then taste and be like,
Oh, Bobby!
oh, you're fucked, Bobby.
And then Bobby always wins.
Bobby, go fuck yourself. And then they give him the middle finger. And then, yeah, Bobby Flay just always wins. And it's just like, yeah, I'm just the best cook. This person tries to be a good cook, but they're not.
Dude, imagine if like anybody in any other profession went around and did that to people.
Yeah.
Like, how is that okay only with cooking? Like, if you think about like imagine like an artist like painting a masterpiece, and like some douche is just like, you think that's good?
Well,
Just,
they-
like kicks it over and then fucking
That one show was really popular, which is kind of is it Blown Away, the glass blowing show?
Oh, yeah.
Or, like,
You see, it's different in the context of it being a competition. If it was a competition, then it's like, that's different than people walking around being like, you're so like, if Bobby Flay went to a random restaurant and it wasn't competition, was like, your food sucks.
I mean, that's what Gordon Ramsay's job is.
Yeah, pretty much. But he's invited there by people that know it already isn't going well.
Yeah.
I wonder how
That's
that's
true.
legal. Like, imagine you have like a really shitty business, and then just like a camera crew's just like, "Can we film in here?" And you're like, yeah, this will be great for marketing. Like, it's
Yeah,
never
come
good
on
for
in.
marketing ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, oh, the place is going under. We might as well have Gordo here just in case.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Unless it's like some place that had such a minor, like they already had amazing looking food, and it's just like something that's so fixable.
Yeah.
Or it's just like a bad cook that they're just like, well, we'll just fire this guy and then everything's good again.
I have seen episodes of. I keep wanting to say it's Hell's Kitchen. What is that? Where he goes and
So that one is
where he shits talk because I have seen people kick him off
I don't
or
remember.
tell him to leave and be like, "We're not changing. We're not doing this." And like, what the fuck is the name of that show?
Kitchen Nightmares, I believe.
Kitchen Nightmares. I have seen people like be like, Gordon, get out. Like,
Yeah, like I remember the one lady that was just like, no, yeah, you're wrong. We aren't doing anything wrong. And he's just like, I never thought I'd have to say this, but like, I'm just gonna go because you don't want help.
yeah.
Like, you're just telling me that I'm wrong. Like, you invited me here to fix things, and then you're just completely unwilling to listen to anything that I'm saying.
The original series of that show is fantastic, where it's done in the United Kingdom. There is so much swearing in that one. They like really tame it down for the American audience.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera is just like, you can tell it's just one dude with a camera. Like, it's so shaky and like grainy, and it's just Gordon just screaming at fucking 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
Dude, my favorite thing is like he'll do that and then immediately be like, right, what are you doing? You in culinary? It's like, I'm gonna pay for your culinary. Just send me the bill. Give my email address. And then like I looked up because like I saw like a super cut of him doing that like 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked up, I was just like, did he actually pay for these kids to go to school? And it's just like, no.
That's funny. Yeah, you see, the problem with Gordon Ramsay though is like his show is so entertaining and he's so good at being a dick that there's like inevitably one person at every restaurant that they have to be Gordon Ramsay and are better than anyone else. So they'll just be a dick to everyone.
Yeah.
You'll be like, you don't have to actually do that. Like he's doing a show. You don't have to be Gordon Ramsay.
Well, there's like definitely there's like, I mean, even on any of those shows, I don't know why. It's like a hierarchy, right?
Mhm.
And they always, it's built up, but like I think it's pretty accurate. You know what I mean? Where like the head chef always has to be kind of like, we need this way now. Like, at least that's the same thing with Bourdain. It's this, like you need that structure in there. So there is always going to be a douche.
You see, there's a fine line between being someone
assertive and like
assertive and someone who's dedicated their life to it, so they're passionate about it and they are doing what they need to do to make sure everything goes correctly, and the other person who just thinks that they need to yell because they're in a kitchen, so they just do it for any reason, whatever, and are just talk down to you because they're a dick. Like I had one guy that did that at like a job that I worked at, and he was like I made a mistake, and rightly so. Like I should have been.
Was it the chatter guy? The chatter man?
No, it was at that was a different restaurant. Although that was quite interesting. I'll tell that story in a second. But anyway, some lady ordered something without onions. And there wasn't onions in the dish. She just wanted to make sure they weren't in there. And I didn't realize that there was like green onions, like chives on there. So I just didn't think about it. So like he came back and he's just like, this isn't Burger King. Like you can't just do whatever you want. Like you like people have food allergies and we take this very seriously. And I was like, yeah, like I take this very seriously too. Like I don't think it's Burger King. Not to mention you can't just do whatever you want at Burger King. You can't just purposely go in there and screw other people's
put pickles on the shit.
Yeah, like you'll get fired in a minute. And then that was like,
no, they'll just move you to a worse task.
Yeah. So that was and then later I found out that it was his wife and she came in 5 minutes before close and she didn't have a food allergy. So he was just like, people could have food allergies. He's like, dude, that's your wife. She doesn't have a food allergy.
He was embarrassed that like
And then like I went back and she stayed like an hour after close and the dining room manager was like, what's the hole up? What are we still doing here? And I was like, someone won't leave. It's Ron's wife. And he's just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
They're getting a divorce soon, I think.
Yeah, but that was that was something.
We had a similar thing at Inferno where like damn it, I already ruined it. Now everybody's gonna know what I'm talking about. But the owner,
do you move off of it?
No.
Or do you want to tell it?
No, the owner would always have like us deliver a pizza or like food to his wife. Like if he was like running around all day and whatever, so we'd always have to make like the perfect order and get it there in like less than the necessary amount of time. You know what I mean? It was like I feel like they were like testing us kind of, also just like wanting free food and not to tip. So it was just the worst thing ever because it would be like you'd be busy and you'd be like, oh shit, I got to go all the way to the other side of Latham for fucking asshole's wife. Like, this piece of shit. The whole time you're like, it's just way more stress for like no tip. I don't know. It's just terrible. Like, why do they do that? Why did like, oh, my daughter. My daughter worked there. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Do you want me to tell the chowder story?
Yeah. Fuck it. Fuck that guy.
So one place that I worked in a kitchen, so they offered me a like chef job, and I hadn't really had that much kitchen experience at that point. Like I had been in culinary school, but I hadn't really like worked in a lot of kitchens. So I was upfront about that and told him like, hey, listen, like I'm interested in the job, but I might have to take a shadow somebody, see how things work here for a bit. So I get there and there's this one guy, first day, he's just like, okay, so all right, you're in charge. So go ahead. Like imagine walking into a job and having them just be like, all right, go ahead, just do it. And you're just like, you're not going to show me how anything works, where anything it like is. So he's like, all right, so you're going to be here for dinner service and you're just going to do it. And, you can make the soup because we do a soup every day. And I was like, okay, I make a good clam chowder, so I'll make that. And he goes, oh, well, actually, I make the best clam chowder, so I'll make the soup. And I was just like, okay, then I guess I'm not doing that then. Why don't you go ahead and make the clam chowder then? Which, I was supposed to be, if he put me in charge, honestly, what I should have done is just been like, no, you're not. I'm going to make the clam chowder because you put me in charge and just told me to do it.
Dude, that's like,
sir.
Go chop potatoes.
Yeah, why don't you go do your job over in the back? You're going to be in charge of mopping the floor today. Go over in a closet and mop the closet.
I love that shit because it's like so like it's like when a kid would be like, all right, here, you want to play with this toy, and then like you play with it for a second, and they're like, wait, actually, I want that toy back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, like I'm doing. Like dinner comes along and I'm just like, all right, I don't know how anything's working. So I'm just going to start like helping people out and like cooking. And then at the end of dinner comes along and he's just like, see, that's what happens when there's chaos. I just kind of let things go off the rails so you can see what happens when there's chaos. I'm just like, I don't know if that was chaos or if it wasn't chaos because I've never worked here before. And I don't know if that's the way things are supposed to go or not.
Did it seem like chaos?
I didn't know. I was just like, all right, I guess this is the way things normally were. It didn't seem like things were crazy out of control. I wasn't like, this is awful. I was just kind of like, I don't know what's happening because I don't know.
I've never worked here.
I've never worked here. So coincidentally, my birthday happened to be my birthday.
I thought you were going to say your last.
No, it's close, but it was my birthday. And so I get there. And we're done with dinner. And he's like, see, I want to show you what chaos looked like. We're going to keep you here 3 hours later to move around chairs in the dining room, which is something that didn't normally happen. He's just like, all right, we're going to test this guy, like see if he's really got it in him. And I'm just like, you can't, I can come in tomorrow and move the chairs around. Like, you're going to keep me 3 extra hours on my birthday.
Let the hate flow through you.
And like, just to test me. Like, go fuck yourself.
Piece of shit.
You ass.
What a scum fuck.
And then other people there were like, there's this one guy that he would only make sausage, peppers, and onions, which is the easiest thing to make in a kitchen. You just put sausages in an oven and then chop them up and put them in sauce with peppers and onions. And then he'd be like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. This guy's crazy. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, yeah, okay, we're going to make sausage, peppers, and onions again. This is the 5th day in a row we've had that. People aren't going to like that again. And you're telling me I don't know what I'm doing when all you do is put sausages in the oven every day. And then chop them up and put them in sauce.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, and they were all like, I don't know. Anyway. So
good times, man.
That was a bad experience in the kitchen.
I'm responsible. I should be held accountable.
Well, no, you couldn't have known that.
Could not have known. I'm so sorry.
You couldn't have known. And to be honest, the point of contact I had for you was great to work with.
It was really funny because like when you told me this, I just scolded. I was just like you kept him there late on his birthday. Did you know it was his birthday? She was like, no. I feel like she found out later on, but like,
well, the thing is I think she knew, but it wasn't her call to make.
Yeah,
it was the guy in charge that knew also. That was just like,
big old
yeah,
douche.
you know what, we're gonna do this. Oh, it's your birthday. Oh, it's your birthday. Oh,
you're like,
I'll have some cake, have some balloons.
Get
in the dining room and then move chairs around,
pick things up and put them down.
He had a very Carl vibe about it. Yeah.
Oh, birthday boy.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, go mop the floor.
Just make it shine.
He didn't have an accent, by the way. That's just kind of in my head. The way it replays.
Midwestern accent, if you had one.
Yeah, probably. But
man, that's crazy to like, yeah, if you just walked into a job and they're just like, all right, go for it. And you're like,
all right, go.
All right, I guess we're doing grilled cheeses. Like,
yeah, and you're just like, okay, this is it. And then you're just like, and not to mention, I explained to him too, like all of that. Like it got to a point where like he was just like, all right, yeah, you're just gonna do dinner. Like told him like, listen, like when I got into this, I wanted to make it like clear and upfront that like, no, like not only do I not know how things work here, like I don't have that much experience. Like if you give me a few weeks, I'll figure it out. And like, you know, you give me a few services, I'll see how things work and do it. But you can't just tell me to do it.
Why are you punishing me? I haven't
Like-
done anything yet.
The whole thing is, I'm pretty sure he didn't know how to do it either, but he could not admit for the life of him that he didn't know how to do something. So he had to just be like, well, you know, I'm the best, and that's how things work. So, and it's just like things went off the rails like bad. And he's just, oh, well, that's your fault because you were in charge.
It's
you know,
also-
I would have stepped in and done something, but you know, I don't have any idea what I'm doing at all.
Yeah, it's like a lot of like you can be able to make food, but like when orders start coming in and shit starts happening, like yeah, you have to know what you're doing. Like you can't just be like, yeah, I make a good clam chowder. It's
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. And like I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Just because you make good clam chowder doesn't mean you should have a restaurant.
This
Yeah.
is the type of
We're in the
guy
kitchen.
who would like be like, yeah, I'll help you fix this, and then break it worse than break it worse than it was before, and be like,
Now you got to get a new one.
this broke, and we got
Yeah, and then blame, not take any responsibility
Made
whatsoever.
in China.
Oh, this was already broken. Actually, like when I tried to fix it, it just broke it more. Like, no, you broke it. Now you have to replace it because
exactly
that's
it.
the way life works, sir.
dude. It's so fucking funny. I got
But
so
yeah.
many examples.
What's some other? Did you guys ever have some bad work experiences?
Inferno, dude, terrible. Inferno was like fucking. Like I remember there was no dustpan, right? There was
Mhm.
no dustpan in the fucking building of a pizza shop. All right, there was a basement where like all the supplies were. Like there was a walk-in down there, and that's like where all like the like major prep, not like the fucking like that's where they would make the dough, shred the cheese, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always mad shredded cheese and like flour and shit like all over the place. So like before you could leave, you'd have to like sweep up the shit. And I'm like, I sweep it all up and there's no fucking dustpan. So I see this box that's ripped, right? Like
Mhm.
it's like there's no way this box is able to go out. It needs to be retired from duty. And I fucking use it as a dustpan, and I'm thinking like I'm being clever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is the cheapest, most inexpensive. It's right there. They're not gonna care. I sweep it up on there. This guy comes downstairs, sees the owner. He's just like, Eddie, bro, what the fuck are you doing? It's just like there was no dustpan, so I'm using this box that was ripped. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, we'll tape that thing up. That thing's going. That could have gone out. What the fuck are you doing? I was just like, okay. And I just like took $1 out of my pocket and slapped it down. I was like, how much could it have possibly costed? She's like, are you fucking kidding? You think I want your $1? She's like, I want you to not waste my supplies. That's what I want. And like, I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ. What a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Buy
that's-
a
that's
dustpan.
bad. Yeah, just buy a dustpan. It's not that much money.
I think the dustpan was on loan to the Latham store. No, I'm just kidding.
So
what a fucking asshole.
I had a similar experience. I also worked for that company, and that owner guy would like pop in every once in a while. And it was in the time before smartphones had come out, but I didn't have a smartphone yet. So they had a GPS system on the computers that you would assign your orders to yourself with, because you know when you're taking a delivery, you'd be like, "All right, I'm going to take this delivery." So you click the address and show you exactly where to go. So I went to the one that you worked at because I knew the delivery area, and they were like, "Oh, we don't need you here. Go to the other one."
Which
So
one,
I was
Latham?
like, "Yeah, the one in Latham," and it was before I'd ever worked in Latham. So I was like, "I don't know where anything is here, though." And they're just like, "Oh, that's okay. We have a GPS system on our computers." I'm like, "Okay, cool, no problem." So my third day, I'm the only person working, closing at night, and the GPS system goes down on the thing, and they're just like, "All right, we have 6 orders for you to take. different addresses. And I'm like, well, like, how do I figure out where they are? I don't know where anything is around here. And they're just like, oh, you just figured it out on the map. So I'm like, but the map is stapled to the wall.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have an atlas on me in my car. Like, I
didn't
can't
have the old Rand McNally did.
And even if I did, they don't have specific Latham maps of the streets of Latham.
Yeah.
So I start taking the deliveries, and I'm just calling every time I get to your house. Like, I don't know where anything is. Like, can you give me specific step-by-step? Do you know where this street is? And they'd be like, no. I'd be like, well, I'm there, and I got to figure out how to get to your house. So, I don't know. And then the owner calls me. He's just like, hey, what's going on, man? I'm just like, I'm trying to find everyone's house. And he's just like, oh, you got to hurry up, dude. We got deliveries here that got to go out. I'm just like, I don't know where I didn't want to work here. And you guys sent me to this other one with no way of figuring out how to get to any of these addresses. Like, you can't tell me to hurry up. You come here and pick up some pizzas and then go deliver them yourself. Like, I'm the only person here. I don't know where anything is. And he's just like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, take your time, but hurry up. You know what I'm saying? You got to be safe out there and do what you do, but go as fast as you can. Like, this guy, you got to be kidding me,
dude. He's the biggest piece of shit ever. So a very similar thing happened to me, and that's actually how I quit there. Is like, I feel like I've told it before on the old pod here, but I came in like basically on time for work. My shift started at like 9 or something like that. And I was there at like 8:58 or something. And I get in and he just yells at me. He's like, dude, we got orders to go out, bro. Come take these. And then like, it was like a timed order or something like that for like Lowe's or Home Depot. I think it was Home Depot. And like, it's already like late. Like, you know what I mean? He just was like, all right, I'll get the order in. And there was like some other guy like was supposed to take it or something like that, but the order was already late. They were expecting it like 10 minutes ago. I get in there and I'm like, all right. And I just drive directly there. No bullshit. I'm driving there. I'm halfway there. I get a phone call. Ed, what the fuck, dude? Get that pizza there. They just called. I was just like, there was not enough time from when my shift started to fucking pick up the pizza and get there by the time they called. That's impossible, dude.
Yeah.
And then like I get there and then like they're like, hey, and I'm just like, hey, did you call? I'm sorry the food was late. And then they're like, oh no, it's fine. I was just like, no, I am actually quitting today. So it's perfect because this is exactly the kick in the ass I needed.
Yeah.
And I just fucking turn around and then they were like like just making like a oh fuck face.
Like, uh-oh.
And I go in there and like I forgot. He called me 2 more times after that because I hung up on him.
Mm-hmm.
I hung up on him. I was like, there's just not enough time. And I hung up. He's just like, he calls me back. He's like, did you just fucking hang up on me, bro? And I'm like, yeah. And then I hang up on him again. And then I fucking ignored the rest of them. Then I just came in. And when I came in, I just threw my fucking I threw my car topper in and I just go, fuck you, Nikki, you piece of shit. And then I'm like, I hugged his brother and I left because his brother was cool. But I got out of there. Fuck that guy, dude.
Yeah.
I have not ordered any food from them since, and then I've also told people to not order food from them.
I don't really think they have the best food either.
They used to have really good food.
To be honest, I kind of do like their food.
Well, you know what it is?
It's not like, you could get better food around there.
It depends who's making it a lot too. You know what I mean? There are people who like obviously like if one of the families making it, it's pretty good, but it's like definitely everything is skimped on.
Mm-hmm.
And then like if like somebody there who just wants to get the order out and fuck like they'll make it better honestly than
yeah
else.
For sure. I hear you. How about you, Jim? You got any bad work stories?
Yeah. Worst job?
Yeah, well, I mean, in the bad work story, I mean, I think I told it before. I mean, there was the lady at one place I worked at where she tried to take her own life. That was
yikes!
That was a bit of I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna leave this place.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I did really enjoy when I used to work at the plant nursery, and the first one that I worked at was a lot of fun and pretty much dicking off, and they moved me to a different store. And then the new manager really creeped me out. he'd make a lot of uncomfortable comments about the girls that worked there that were definitely underage. And he was just a weird dude. And he do things that were really annoying. And he didn't like the way that things that I would do at the old store that were just fine. He would be like, "Oh no, we don't do that." And it's like, all right, well, he just wanted me to go walk around in the heat and like move things. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do something else because it's like 100 degrees outside.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit in the air conditioning and like trim rose bushes instead. And they're like, oh no, we don't do that inside. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to.
Yeah. There's no reason to do it
This
outside.
is, you see that person sitting on their phone doing nothing? At least I'm doing something. I'm just not walking around. We got to water these things out there. I'm like, I did. They're watered.
That's awful. Yeah. Some people are just not good at like, they should not be in charge.
They're like the old place that I worked at, I literally, the most frustrating thing about the job was that I would show up and they'd never tell me, like, they'd be like, can you do this? And it's an 8-hour shift. So I do that. I'm like, I did that. And they're like, cool.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else to do. I'm like, all right, I'm going to drive around on the forklift for fucking 2 hours now and just move pallets around.
No, that's fun.
Yeah. I mean, dude, when they like moved me to the other store, I was like, fuck, I still get to drive the forklift, but this guy actually wanted me to work and like do shit.
Yeah. What's with that? Yeah.
It's mad funny. So one of my first, I think it was my second job. I was at a pool supply place on it's like right across from Phillies and Latham there.
Mhm.
And it was just mad funny because there would be like, and like it would be mad funny. They'd always ask me. I was never like certified or anything like that. Somebody just told me how the forklift works. I was just like a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid, and I'm just like driving around, like dropping off pool supplies so that people could build pools and shit like that, and like mad chairs, and it was like mad fun. And then one day, like I like took the forklift off a path, and it, like a corner went onto lawn, and then it was just stuck in like the front of the place for like 2 days.
Oops.
Because somebody had to come winch it out of there. Because it's like fucking 3,000, or no, it's probably like way more. It's probably like 5,000. It's probably just weighted at the bottom.
Yeah.
So it's just like dead weight, and it just like it's just like got the forklift stuff today at work, and everybody was just so pissed because everybody had to like walk by it to come. Like you couldn't miss it. You know what I mean? It was on the pathway in. I was trying to be lazy and not like.
That's fun.
There was like a stack. They wanted a pallet of chairs, like lawn chairs.
Mhm.
Moved to the front, and I was just like, "Oh, I got a brilliant idea." And I just was going to drop it off, and then fucked it up.
I remember the first time like they showed me how to drive. This one guy was just like, "Yeah, Jim, I'm gonna show you how to drive the forklift." And I was like, "All right." I was a little nervous. I was like, "All right, man. Like, it sounds good." And then like I picked the dude. It was so easy to like learn how to do it, and I was like, "Oh, this thing's
So
dope."
much fun too.
And then like I remember like there was one day where my boss was like, "Yeah, I really got to get those things got to get moved over there." And he's like, "I don't know." And he's like just smoking a cigarette. And I was like, all right. And I just like jumped on the forklift and started doing it. And he's like, Jim knows how to drive. Who the fuck taught Jim how to drive the forklift? He's like, this is great.
That's funny.
Some of the most fun I've had is at that pool supply place. They had this like warehouse in the back, and I like was assigned. Well, they called me warehouse manager, but they paid me $8 an hour, the same as the cashiers. But basically, what I did was I had to reorganize the entire thing. Mm-hmm. So I like, it was honestly so peaceful. It was like a little puzzle. It was like Tetris with the fucking forklift.
Yeah, it's fun,
dude. I kind of miss the forklifts, dude. To be honest, there's something that's just so like, man.
And I had a lot of fun at that one job. I spent an entire day. Actually, it was like a string of days where all I did was just set up Christmas trees. And like the one day I had to like clear out the one room, and then I had like it was like one day of like making Christmas trees, one day of clearing out this room, and the third day of just like setting up all the Christmas trees. And when it's
pretty awesome,
you by yourself just do it. They're just like set up the Christmas trees and just put them over there. You're like, yeah, I can do this. Like. Fucking 8 hours just setting up trees.
Best case scenario at a job when they're just like, all right, here's a task, and you go figure that out on your own. And you're just like, all right, cool, I got this.
Yeah.
And you just walk away and you're just like, all right, see you guys in 8 hours.
Man, listen
with
to
some set up Christmas trees.
Used to listen to so many podcasts at that job, just constantly fucking my headphones in, walking around.
It's the best.
They didn't give a shit if you smoked weed, drank in the job.
Nice.
On the forklift.
On the forklift. Everyone was drunk driving the forklift. Everyone was drunk all the time there.
Dude, it's just so much fun because it's like a drift machine. It feels like you're drifting when that back wheel turns.
Yeah,
and
true.
You fucking make like a perfect. I don't know. There's some magic about it. They should design real cars like that.
Mhm.
The rear wheel steering, I think, is superior. It's bananas.
Yeah.
Tight turns.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of work things, I got to scrub in for surgery earlier this week.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
You performed surgery?
Yeah, I helped hold the bladder between hemostats. We cut into a cat and removed its bladder stones.
Wow.
It was dude, it was really funny.
Impressive.
It was really funny, all the people, because like we have this big like surgery window and people coming through and just like I could just see people laughing, like, what is this, Dr. Jim over here?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Like,
did they call you over the intercom? Dr. Perry.
we did
Dr. Perry to the operating room.
We have a new doctor whose name is Dr. Carey, and a lot of times when they call it, it sounds like Dr. Perry. And I'm
So you just run over and you're just like, I got this. Take it easy, Dr. Carey.
I need 20 cc's of ketamine stat.
there was an appointment where like I don't even know if I should tell this, but there was like a
That means it's good, folks.
it was just funny to me. Like someone came in, it was like the last appointment of the night. We're pretty behind. And like I jump on the phone with the lady and she was like, I don't really need anything. I just want to get the weight checked on my cat. And I'm like, we're so behind. I go up to Dave and I'm like, yo, this other person, like she doesn't even need to talk to you. Like I asked her, like she just wants to check the weight. And he's like, all right, just go do it. And like, so I brought her in and I just did the whole doctor appointment. Like she did have questions, but they were all like very simple questions and like literally just brought in, put the cat on the scale, like went
First
in.
question
Like,
was, how fucking fat is this cat?
no, the cat was doing, I was like, Dave, as long as the cat isn't losing weight, are we good? And he's like, the cat's fine, it's fine. And so I went in, I did the whole doctor appointment essentially by myself, cashed her out in the room, brought her out. I was like, wow, I was the only person this lady interacted with the entire time she was here. Brought her in, did the thing, and then got her out. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, that was my first doctor appointment.
That's awesome.
Did you have a stethoscope around your neck?
No, I didn't. I should
Damn.
have.
Missed opportunity.
But the scrubbing in, they cut open the body. Yeah, that is funny. I had to just stand there like this, and like they had to like, I'm just standing there, and they like put the gown on me. I was like, all right, now tie me in. Tie me in now.
Towel.
That's funny.
This one girl was like, "Are you squeamish?" And I was like, "Damn, no." I was like, "I don't think so." And she was like, "Well, if you get lightheaded, you need to sit down." Dude, it is like you smell like the burning flesh and burning hair once they like cut open the body and
Delicious.
You know,
just pulling out all the fat. I was like, damn, I'm right here.
I used to think that squeamish was like a type of like an ethnicity, like Italian. I used to think like I didn't know what that meant. Like what those people from Squeam are just really like pussy. And like
10% Italian, 10% squeamish.
Yeah. Like, dude, doesn't it kind of sound like when I was a kid, when I found out what it meant, I was like, oh, dude, I was like 12. I was just like, This whole time I thought those squees were just pussies and would faint at the sight of blood or something. I was probably squeamish too. Anytime I see like a razor cut in a movie, I'm like, or like a needle going in, I'm like, ooh. Like,
well, that's the thing is that like sometimes, like I have noticed since I've gotten older, sometimes I am watching something and I'm like, oh man, this is kind of fucking gross. And like it was kind of gross. Like, dude, honestly, it was kind of amazing that I kind of just watched him. Like, he like did the surgery and then just like shoved the bladder back in there.
Did you get?
And I was like, you really just like pushed, like just put it back in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, dude, you should see like if they have to do like intestinal surgery,
Yeah,
they
take out,
literally
like,
like
8 feet of
they
intestines.
pull it all out and then they literally just stuff it back in. And you just like you just stuff it back in. There's no like
There's
you
no
don't have
chart.
to fold it a certain way. Yeah, they're just like, no, you just stuff it back in. Body just figures it out. And you're like,
Man.
damn, okay.
I don't. That's just like it's like when you get a sleeping bag like out of the
Yeah,
chair.
yeah, and you're just
And then you're like trying to roll it up first and make it all neat, nice. And then you're like, oh fuck it, just jam it.
yeah, it's like putting a tent back. You're just fucking go.
Dude, I don't know that I could watch that or see that happening.
Dude, I was like, my heart was kind of racing because I'm like holding the bladder as the doctor's doing the surgery on it, and he would just be like, pitch it forward, pitch it back, or like increase the tension or decrease the tension, and like just sitting like. I was like, man, this is like, I don't want to drop the fucking hemostats. Like, and you're sitting there for like an hour. You can't like touch, like you have an itch on your face. You can't touch it. Like you're literally just like ignoring everything else. Like, you know, you're standing in one spot for a long time.
You're sneezing.
Did you have like random thoughts like going through your head while you're like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to have for dinner tonight? Like shit like that. Or was it
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're sitting there for so long and the doctor is so quiet as he's doing it. And like, you know, I'm like listening for instructions and then I'm trying to ignore people walking by, just like being like, holy fuck, Jim scrubbed in.
Jim has a bladder.
Did
what do you think was in that Danish?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did a piece of sandwich fall out of your beard and into the wound?
No.
Maybe a junior myth.
That's good. Yeah,
I was literally thinking about, I was like, when I go to Hannaford later, I have to get garbage bags. I have to get little new scrubby things.
Did you
dish wand.
see the cat after, like walking around all nice?
I wasn't there for when it woke up, but the cat did make it. Brian was like, the cat lived? I was like, yeah, the cat lived.
yeah.
Dude, that is wild. Like if I would if I was involved in something like that, I'd have to be there. Like I'd be like watching over it, like making sure, like, oh, God, if it doesn't live, I'm fucked. Like,
Dude, well, that's why I was like, my heart was kind of in the beginning when I was like first holding it, and then like after like 20 minutes, I was like, you know, about thinking about lunch. I didn't realize though, one of the guys came up to me and he was like I'm kind of jealous. And like I didn't even realize what it was. They were like, Jim, we're gonna have you scrub in. And I was like, cool. I don't know what that means.
What is that?
I don't know what that means. So you just tell me and I'll just do what you want me to do. And the one guy's like, man, I wish I was getting scrubbed in. Like I've never done that before. I was like, oh, that's
Nice.
That's cool.
I know I'm no Superman. Do you have like a series of like is it like a clique of friends? Like one's a surgeon, one's like a resident, and like
What do you mean?
Did you ever see this show Scrubs with Zach Braff? Yo, did you know Zach
Yeah.
Braff directs?
Oh yeah.
That's why he hasn't been in shit.
He directed
There was one good movie he directed.
Why do I keep wanting to say he directed Quiet Place?
No, that's John Krasinski.
Okay, that's right.
wish you were there, or wish you were here, maybe something like that. That was like the movie after Garden State.
Wish I was here. Oh, Garden State was he
Garden
in
State
Garden State, or did he direct Garden State?
I'm pretty sure that was a movie that he like wrote, directed, and starred in. I think. But
I'm sorry, it's taken me a long time to go through the bullshit here.
Is there a surly doctor that tells you how it is?
Oh, actually,
Dr. Cox.
Oh no, they're making it cheaper by the dozen again.
With Zach Braff?
Yeah.
Yo, we
Zach Braff's in it.
DJ just talking of doctors. We did just get our new doctor, and man, that guy is like a fucking science textbook. He's like, you ask him any question and he'll give you like this crazy detailed scientific answer. And it's so funny when I'm just like, a client asks me for something and I come out and I'm like, hey, do we have this medication? Oh, actually, that medication, you see, it's been on back order for 2 years because they had a supply chain issue and so-and-so. And they actually relate these things to, you know, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, so what is what can I use instead? And he said this to me 3 times on Friday. He would just go, right, straight to the point. We just do this. Like, okay, like I don't need to know, you know, the studies that they found in mole rats from it. I just need to know, is the person good to be cashed out and then the report ready?
Sounds like my dad.
We got people like that. I feel like there's a person like that at every job.
Yeah.
Like there's this one dude who's like a savant that I work with, and like he's just like the other day he was just showing us like his email on like an email inbox that I had ever seen. He had like color coding shit. He had like flags set up, like reminders and all that jazz. And like I have just like 102 unopened emails. They're just like all chaos, and I just have all these rules. Like the only thing I have on there are rules to like filter out the shit that like are auto generated to different windows.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, like I don't know, some people just like just got that like encyclopedic shit going on. I don't know.
I love watching, like, he's been a lot of, when I first had to start kind of working with him, I was like, it's kind of a little frustrating, but it's fun watching him interact with, you know, like there's one guy I work with where he has like a lot of like useless trivia facts, or like you'll be talking about something and
I got one of those too.
Well, he's like, you know, he's kind of much more what's the good word for it? Like not persistent, but like you'll be talking about something and he'll just chime in and be like, "Oh, do you know that, you know, humans are bioluminescent?" And like he like did that to the new doctor, and like he's like, "Oh, did you actually know that that's what he said." He's like, "Did you know humans are bioluminescent?" And I'm like walking away, just like, bro, that guy fucking knows everything about ant. Like, you're not gonna get this guy on your fun fact, bud.
That's funny.
It's like Highlander. There could only be one.
Yeah.
It's like Wayne the Brain McLean, dude.
Yeah. My dad does that, where he knows everything about every single subject that's ever been created on Earth.
It's
like
the Masons, dude.
It is.
Yeah.
When I worked in microchips, like I operated the tools that created them. So like I would go over to his house, like, you know, his house would be hanging out, and he'd be like, "So, what kind of lithography we got?" Be like, "Well, it's like this kind," and you'd be like, "Oh, because you know, when you get the lithography down to 2 nanometers, the masks are just they it gets harder to do." And he'd ask me some question, I'd be like, "I don't even know what you just said." Like, I work in this field and do this every day, and like, you just said something that was like so far over my head. Like, he doesn't even.
He might be intelligence, dude.
He could be
covert ops, dude. He might be like one of those scientists building James Bond's fucking weapons and shit. I don't know, man.
Actually, like,
have you ever seen your dad at work?
Yeah, that's actually a really funny story too. I
cut Jim off too.
No, I'm just saying, I'm thinking of your dad. It's like, I'm just a simple computer repairsman. I'm not FBI.
He so what he does now is he works for Verizon, and he like helps their like their
5G.
Their like he does like basically like troubleshooting problems with their like computer network. And like I heard him on the phone last time I was down visiting, and it was so funny to hear him like just he's like on this call with this guy that didn't know what was going on at all, and he's just like, in order to get a full repository, you need the queue to fill up all the way into, and then the guy was like, all right, so what you're saying is this. And my dad just goes, none of the statements you just made are true in any sense whatsoever. And then just hear him trying to like, the guy just kept trying to talk and be like, Ron. None of the things you're saying are true. You need to get the repository full before the queue. And then just like,
it sounds like CIA talk, dude. Like, did you ever see Meet the Parents?
That's
the type of shit that Bob De Niro would say. He'd be like saying mad random shit just so they don't hear him making his spy calls.
Yeah,
dude, your dad's a fucking spy. Your dad is intelligence, dude. He knows too much about semiconductors.
Hey, you never know. Dude. No, he used to work at like a long time ago, but yeah, he's crazy knowledgeable about every subject.
And he's making mad sus calls about none of the things that you said are correct.
I love that instance of like, because I've had like 2 jobs like that now, where like the current job where I'm at and when I worked at the Arsenal were 2 jobs where we're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but like I can do the job.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, you know, at the Arsenal, it was like I don't know, like I don't know anything about nickel plating or about what this shit is, but like, sure, I can do it. And I feel that way at my current job where like I have just given names to things. Like there's a machine that like it's like a monitor that like keeps track of like the blood pressure and the EKG things and like all that jazz. And the only thing that I do with this machine is I go up to it and I type a number into it and I hit this button called nib. And so I call that machine the nib. And like people think like I'm just like, oh, they're like, what's that thing? I'm like, oh, the nib. And people hear me say that, they're like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, the nib. I'm like, guys, my association with this machine is hitting fucking nib. I get it. It tracks all these other things. I don't know what it's called.
That's funny.
It's the nib. And now people are starting, like, I've gotten one or two people like to call it the nib. And I'm like, yes, call it the nib.
That's like what I would do at work too. It's like anytime I would train somebody for a while, like probably 2 or 3 years, I'd be like, I'd just be calling things like, I'd just be abbreviating certain things at work, just trying to get all my breeds to catch on and shit like that. And then like, every once in a while you'd come about somebody who's just like, no, that is not shorter nor more efficient way of saying this. Because they didn't believe in the breed. But
I have called the
scales that you guys use, are they Mettler Toledo's?
We have a special pill scale that might be, but no, we typically use a baby scale, and then our other scale is lowered into the floor so that it just looks like we just walk a patient on. They don't know they're standing on a scale. So I don't know what that is, what brand it is.
Evil? No, I don't know. It's just mad funny because like there's like equipment that like there's like stupid just random names for it, like the old Watson Marlowe and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Yeah.
It's just mad funny to just like I don't know, just go by one of the names.
One of the things that's really interesting is that a lot of surgery, like a lot of the machines that we use in surgery, like the one thing I was like, you want me to grab the mic stand? And someone laughed and was like, the mic stand? And I was like, yeah, the fucking thing that looks like a mic stand. And the one doctor was like, that actually is a mic stand. And they were like, that they fashioned those out of the other thing. And then there was literally right next to it was a fucking like a pedal. And I was like, hey, yeah, and this is an effects pedal. I was like, this is the same shit.
This is a stage.
Like a lot of that equipment, yeah, a lot of the equipment that they use like in the music industry also gets used like in like even, I don't know, a lot of the speaker equipment is like the same shit. Like the blood pressure Dopplers a lot of times where you're like, this looks like a little portable amp. Like, and you're like, oh yeah, it probably is. Like,
so when you did that surgery, did you you put the bladder back in and drop the mic and go, thank you, Cleveland?
Actually, as I'm like, we did the surgery and like we have to wait for they had to bring the cat in to go get x-rays to make sure that we got everything. And like me and the doctor are both just standing there like this. And I don't know what I can and can't do. I'm still like, I can't touch anything. And the doctor is just balling up like little like swabs and he's just like throwing them at me from across the room. And I'm just trying to dodge them and not touch anything.
Oh,
I'm
dude, like, this sounds like a sitcom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a lot of fun to work with.
Good time.
We were listening to little Ben Folds and Brick came on and we had just been talking about Brick. And I was like, all right, guys, this is the sad part. Dave's like, Jim, this whole song is sad. And I'm like, no, it's not. Don't look at my eyes. I'm not crying.
We're getting there. We're there.
We're there.
We're there.
We're there, man.
Dude, by the way, unrelated to what we were just talking about, but I did not know that Garden State was such a highly reviewed film.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going to have to check it out.
Whoa, Zach Braff was the voice of Chicken Little.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
We'll leave you with that one, guys.
Everybody, thank you for listening. This has been a broadcast of the Butt Stuff Podcast. Hit us up on Instagram. Check out our bio. Find our links to our other things. Our Spotify, our YouTube. Give us a watch if you're listening.
Let's bring trivia back and stereo calls.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm in. Hit us up. We'll get you on.